Your heated shingle ice dam cutter kit will include heat cable, mounting screws and accessories, drip edge cable retaining clips, zip ties, cable control module, ice dam cutter mounting brackets, sealant, ice dam cutter bars, ice dam cutter insulators. If you are installing heated shingle ice dam cutter into a valley, your kit will also include a valley ice dam cutter and valley ice dam cutter brackets. Step 1. Preparing the heat cable. Begin by unraveling the heat cable, being careful not to overbend it. Feed the plug end of the cable into the downspout until the plug end is exposed, but before the heated portion of the cable is exposed. The heated portion of the cable will need to stay inside the downspout. Plugging in the heat cable will make it more pliable and easier to work with during installation. At this point, it can be plugged directly into an extension cord. Important note: do not plug the heat cable into the cable control module until after installation. Step 2. Establishing the layout. Typical spacing between bars is 4 to 5 feet. When using a valley cutter along with the bar system, leave at least 18 inches from the center of the valley for each of the ice dam cutter bars. This will allow ample room for the snow to evacuate. Step 3. Installing the brackets. The eave edge bracket is typically placed within 6 inches of the eave. Take care to make sure that each bracket is 90 degrees perpendicular to the eave edge. Sealant is generously applied to the underside of the bracket. Then the bracket is screwed down using 3 of the longer screws that are supplied. Make sure that the screws penetrate through the sealant as they're installed. The top bracket is installed within 6 inches of the end of the bar. Important note: do not attach the bar to the brackets until after the cable is inserted. Step 4. Installing the bars. Important note: for the system to work properly, the bar needs to extend a ½ inch beyond the shingled edge. Set the bar in its brackets very carefully and gently. Assess where the top of the cable will be when inserted into the bar. Very carefully, bend it over the insulator strip, bending it no more than the radius required to fit inside the bar. Taking care not to mar the sides of the heat cable, slide it into the ice dam cutter bar. Double check for a ½ inch overhang of the bar past the shingle edge. Once the bar location is identified, it is best to pre-drill the ice dam cutter bar before screwing it to the brackets. Then install the screws. After the bar is secure, insert the large black cap at the top end of the bar. Then insert the smaller black cap at the bottom end of the bar between the cables. Be careful not to damage the heat cable while inserting the caps. Step 5. Heat cable placement in the gutter. In order for the system to function properly, the heat cable needs to rest along the bottom of the gutter. Using the supplied zip ties, fasten together both cables at the base of the gutter. Other than this area from the bar to the gutter, make sure that the cables do not overlap or touch each other, yet are spaced no more than 1 inch apart. If you have gutter spikes or brackets, make sure to install the heat cable underneath them to allow it to rest comfortably on the bottom of the gutter. If the heat cable rises above the bottom of the gutter, the system may not function properly. In the absence of a gutter, install the ice dam cutter to the eave edge using the clips included with the kit. First, attach the clips under the shingle to the eave edge every 2 feet. Then, run the cable along the eave edge, attaching the cable to the bottom of the clips. Step 6. Valley bar installation. To install a heated shingle ice dam cutter in a valley, the install process is similar to the previous install. However, the bar will lay flat as opposed to upright in order to cut a larger channel. Bend the valley brackets to match the actual valley angle. The bracket and bar will need to be pre-drilled before installing the cable. Important note, do not install the screws until after the cable is installed. Once again, identify where the top curve in the heat cable will be and carefully bend it around the insulator. Then gently slide the cable and insulator into the bar. After the cable is installed in the bar, use the short screws included with your kit to attach the brackets to the bar. Apply a generous bead of sealant to the underside of the brackets where the screws will fasten it to the roof. Then the bracket is screwed down using the longer screws that are supplied. Depending on the condition of the asphalt shingles, it may be possible for the brackets to be installed under the affected shingles. Inspect the shingles to see if they're pliable enough to bend up to allow the fasteners to be installed underneath them. Step 7. Completing installation. Any excess cable should be extended down the gutter, making sure the cable does not overlap on itself. If overlapping occurs, it will cause the system to malfunction and possibly short out. After installation is complete, unplug the cable from the extension cord and plug it into the cable control module, which will then plug into a heavy-duty extension cord, then into your outdoor electrical outlet. The cable control module will control the power to the heat cable, turning it on when the temperature drops to 35 degrees Fahrenheit and turning it off when the temperature rises to 45 degrees Fahrenheit. Here's a look at the final layout of the installed ice dam cutter system, with appropriate dimensions indicated. If you have questions about your installation, please call American Metal Roofs at 844-638-2576.